Yeah, that's like 5 hours from now. I'll deal with that. Structure. Okay. My main. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. My main interest here is like, what is the angle of that, right? And I know this is bigger than this because that bag's distorted, right? So all those sorts of things I pop in later. Okay. So that's a great question. That's what I was going to get to here, with showing you guys this. Think about structure. This is not about detail, okay? Once you jump in with this charcoal, all that stuff disappears anyways because of the material. So if I was in here doing these little rips and the perforation, drawing all those little things, what you want to do, I know, because that's, pleasing, right? It makes you happy to do details.
That's just exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. Realize that the process is going to kind of get in the way of that right now because I'm more interested in what's the value inside here versus here, right? Right now, when I get the charcoal going here, okay? Look at my lines here. They kind of intersect one another, right? I'm not being a perfectionist about this in terms of like making sure that, and in fact, I moved the drawing up a little bit as I worked it. So I moved this line up here a little bit. This is structure. This is the frame inside the building, okay? They're still welding and cutting excess off and whatever, okay? When you think about constructing a building. Okay. So now we're ready to put the powder charcoal on, okay? And I just want to make sure these lines are darker because when you put the powdered charcoal on, they'll start to disappear a little bit. You'll see that in a second. So I'll just kind of reiterate these a little bit. Not so much so that it's going to, that I can't get rid of them when I need to. Go ahead, yeah.
So you're saying before we do the charcoal, we should just have a structure. We shouldn't really have any detail.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying.
Yep.
Which is a little different from what we did last week.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's
All
a kinda. I mean, I never did really say to put that fringe in, right? So
Right.
Detail in terms of maybe those rips or that, like this thing right here, for instance, that angle right there where that kind of curve is, I could kind of pop that in maybe. If I was doing the drawing last week, I'd be worrying about that. I don't want to worry about that right now too much, right?
Okay.
All right. So it's a skeleton, just a skeleton, okay? All right. I'm not even, I could kind of pop some of these lines in, but, I'll get those later. Those kind of creases there, right? Okay. Think about lighting here, really important. So if this light's back, you don't want to light up the background. It defeats the purpose. You want to pull the light as far forward as you can. See how dark that background's getting now? Not everybody can see, but okay. That's the last thing you want. I mean, yeah, if you've done this 10 times, you want to play with lighting. But I'm just telling you, the easiest thing to do is to light this surface up, lighten this surface up. See how bright this is around here, right? That light's coming straight down, hitting the foreground. And the background gets darker, okay? Lighting's really important. Think about if you didn't have lighting. If you didn't have a light.
Be black.
Yeah, you wouldn't see anything, right? So the converse is like, it's so important, right? Yeah, it changes everything. I mean, Monet, right? Okay, let's go over here. Totally messy, but I do understand if that's going to happen. You want to get a couple paper towels. Here's the powdered charcoal, okay? And just pad up your paper towel a little bit. Just, kind of create a cushion out of it, okay? And all you're going to do, just sprinkle gingerly.
Gingerly.
This is ginger. No, gingerly.
Hi, gingerly is not a lot.
Gingerly, right?
Gingerly means a little.
That's right. This is gingerly.
She's Southern. She's
Ah,
Southern. Southern.
Gingerly is southern. yeah,
Gingerly.
yeah. I remember gingerly sipping a mint julep.
The Kentucky Derby, right?
Yeah, the Kentucky Derby, right? I'm barely touching the paper here. trick is, and if the lines disappear, so what? You know, bring them back again. But I kind of still see them there. Maybe I have a little too much material, but it's okay. So I'm not pushing down a lot. I'm just kind of spreading it around. So I can still see them. See them? They're still there. But this is kind of cool because, you know, it's like, oh, it's messy. Yeah, it's messy. Art's messy. So all of a sudden, you get a little panicky, but then you kind of calm down a little bit. It's like, oh, well, yeah, what is perfection? It's kind of just state of mind. So the lines, the drawing's still there. Okay. Now what I've created is this medium tone that now I can work, push and pull against. I can create light and create dark against this medium tone now. So you're not always adding now, not just creating dark, right? And I'll show you here in a second with the straight edge. Now that's about enough. You rub that too much and the tooth of the paper starts to go away. So don't be obsessive about rubbing this. I see students over here, you know, kind of polishing the paper. Don't do that because you're going to be adding more material to this. You're going to be adding more charcoal to this anyways, okay? So now we have the line drawing there and the structure is still there, okay? The line drawing. And we have a tone over the whole piece of paper now, okay? So your drawing will look like this. Then you'll take, don't, just put your paper here, don't put your drawing board here, okay? You want to kind of keep the drawing board clean as possible. So if you're putting your charcoal on your paper and it's on the drawing board, that charcoal is going to be on your drawing board, okay? All right. Okay. So then your drawing board will be back at your table. So take your drawing back to your drawing board. Huh? I'm not doing that anymore. Once I meet the threshold of the 2 weeks, then I don't do that anymore. Okay.
Okay, just want to double check. So the formula for that again was like,
Length to width.
all right, length to width.
So measure the height of something, right?
Okay,
It's proportion.
right.
And then you're stacking that, you're using that as a benchmark, like the back of the bag, right? And then you can find out how many of those go down the length of the thing. So let's say you come up with a 1 to 3 proportion. The size of those bags, that's about it, right?
Okay.
Could be 1 to 20. You know, if this is like 1 to 20, right?
Right.
This pencil, if I draw on this pencil,
Yeah.
I'd have to fit that down 20 times, right? Then you go to your drawing, you establish the height of the thing, right? In this case, the back of the bag. You can make it any size. You can make it tiny, you can make it big on your drawing. The only stipulation is that whatever you make it on your drawing, needs to fit the length of the object you're drawing the appropriate amount of times. And in our scenario, it's 1 to 3 or whatever, right? Okay?
Yeah.
Long as it fits that relationship, it's in proportion. Your drawing is in proportion now, okay? Then you can use that first line you drew as a benchmark for other stuff too. I could measure that versus the height of the back of the bag. Could measure that versus the height of the front of the bag, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this becomes a benchmark against which you measure everything in real life and apply that ratio to your drawing.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay.